Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm Colette and today I want to share the final video in my quarterly full moon witchcraft series. This one is focused on practices and spells for the full moons of March, April, and May. The magical themes of spring in general are rising energy, beginnings, renewal, new growth, and fertility. Let's jump into March's full moon. I always like to share some of the regional full moon names from my ancestral background, and I find it helpful to call in those moon names and repeat them as I'm invoking any of the spells that I'm sharing today. So for March's full moon, the Celtic countries used seed moon, wind moon, and plow moon. In Anglo-Saxon and Germanic regions, it was the Lenten moon, which literally translates to spring moon. To work with this shedding the old ritual, spend some time thinking about ideas, patterns, perceptions, ways of being that you have outgrown and are no longer relevant to you. Imagine that energy rising to the surface of your skin where it can be sloughed off or shed like an old worn cloak. And just before sundown, start by putting out a clear glass bowl of water to catch some of the moon energy and let it set out until the moon rises. Gather some flowers or spring greenery or even bare branches if that's all you have in your region at this time of year, and arrange them in 2 vases or jars. The next step is to prepare a shower or a bath. And if you want, you can gather some scrubbing supplies like a loofah or a shower scrub or some witchy salt scrubs. And you can also use my personal favorite, which is a large charm bag filled with oatmeal for nourishing the skin and nerves, and calendula for healing and honoring the sun. Then you can bring in your 2 flower vases or jars and set them about 3 feet apart. This is going to represent your gate of rebirth and shedding. Now you're going to use that moon water that you prepared. So bring it in, and if you're using a bath, just pour it in the bathtub. If you're using a shower, you'll set it nearby so that you can pour it over yourself later, or you can set it on the ground somewhere near your candles and flowers. Then as you're ready to walk through the gate, walk between those 2 candles and 2 flower arrangements. Pause in the middle and just think about what it is that you're trying to shed, and just remember that it's sitting right on the top of your skin, just like old skin cells ready to be moved away. Then get in the bath or shower, repeat one of the names of the full moon to call on it and invoke it into your ritual and help you shed, and then just stay in as long as you want. If you're using a scrub, you can use it as many times as you want until you feel like you're done with it. And when you feel like you're done overall, say something like, "It is so," or whatever feels right to you. Then rinse off, get out of the shower or bath, snuff the candles, or let them burn all the way out. I prefer to let them burn all the way out for this to really mark the end of that transition. Here's another way that I like to use moon water in witchcraft at this time of year. I like to use it as an offering for the fertility of the earth. So set your bowl or jar of water out somewhere where it will catch the moon's light. And then this time, let it absorb the water overnight, setting it out at sunset and pulling it in as early in the morning as you can. Let it absorb that moon energy, and in the morning, then offer that water to the earth in an outward moving spiral pattern. You can repeat a phrase that offers your support to the land, and that could be something like, "Blessed moon, help keep the earth healthy, fertile, and safe," or "Sacred earth, I offer you this in appreciation for what you do," or just say whatever feels right to you. Trust your heart and your intuition. And if you're watching this in 2025, the March full moon happens to fall at the same time as a total lunar eclipse, which adds a bit of wild card magic to the mix. And so if you would feel better avoiding that eclipse, and some witches do, you can do any of this magic the night before the full moon or the night after, because the full moon energy is still potent and still there during that time. Like March, April is associated with rebirth. It's also associated with fertility and prosperity. I feel the energy of April and March's moon are very similar, but it's just a little more solar energy added into the mix. Moon names include egg moon, and the Celtic worked with the name budding moon, seed moon, and growing moon. It was also known as Paschal moon because of Easter. I talked about this briefly last week in my video, but in both March and April, I like to use rainwater in my magical spells and practices. For April's full moon, I gather rainwater or spring water if it doesn't rain in your area on any of the 3 nights of the full moon phase. And then I spread or sprinkle it on blank paper and let it dry. Then I use the paper to write fertility and abundance spells, sigils, or symbols. On the other side of the paper, I write a phrase like, I ask this moon and this water to bring me abundance and prosperity beyond expenses with harm to none. And you could stop there and just light a candle to activate it. But I like to do a little bit more. I like to bring some representation of the earth's abundance in spring, like some moss or some flowers or whatever greenery you can find, and then light the candle and let it burn all the way out. This spring rain moon water can be used also in showers and baths to help influence and enhance fertility if you want that in your life. Both the full moon and water are really associated with hormonal cycles, and April is a very fertile month. And remember that this is just a little boost in addition to whatever other things you are doing to enhance your fertility. My final April spell is to take some dried spring flowers for their fierce, sturdy protection that they carry from thriving in snow and frost, and put that along with a little mugwort in a small charm bag. Let it sit out where the full moon light will shine on it and activate it. Then you can hang it in your bedroom for helping protect and enhance your dreams. And you can also use it if you work with lucid dreaming or astral travel. May moon is the Beltane moon, and it's associated with sex magic, glamour magic, and love magic. And like April, it has a very strong connection with fertility. For this month, I also suggest making moon water, and you can use it as a base for making a rose petal tea. If you don't have rose petals, you can add some food grade rose water from a grocery store instead, and start with really small amounts of that rose water and that moon water, playing with the proportions until you get it to smell the way you want it. And just play with that and use your intuition. If you want to preserve it with alcohol, go ahead and add about 50% of alcohol to it. I like the smell of brandy best. And then you might need to add a little bit more of that rose water. Then light a small birthday candle to activate it, any color you feel is right. And then say something like, beautiful roses, please bring the power of your magic into this water. And then you can use that water for anointing yourself during sex magic, or dotting on your walls of your house to bring in a little more beauty and love into your home. You can put a small bowl of it on your altar to help you create more beauty when you're rearranging the house or creating a new altar that you want to be particularly beautiful for some reason. Or you can also anoint yourself with it if you just need a little extra glamour or attention that day. I like to do a little divination of some kind as we make that jump from the bottom of the year into the upper half of the year in May. And so I like to try a little full moon scrying along with other divination practices. And this practice is quite a bit more advanced. So if you're a beginner, you can either skip it or try it. If you're a beginner, you might get some info and learn that you have a talent for scrying, or you might just introduce yourself to the concept of it so you can start to get better about it. And then it might also just open your intuition in other ways. So don't be afraid to try if you're a beginner. Start by gathering some pillows so you can sit or lay comfortably, and place them somewhere that the full moon light will fall on them, either inside or out. Then make a small altar with a bowl of water on it and 2 tea lights or candles to either side of that bowl of water, and then cast a circle around yourself using flower petals. That's my favorite anyway. And then breathe in the energy of the earth and the energy of the sky, and then gaze into that bowl and ask to see what you need to know over the next 6 months. Let your gaze soften and just notice the shapes that appear in the water in that flickering light. If nothing comes to you, try slowing your breathing a little bit and closing your eyes, and look at the images, colors, and shapes that are created on the back of your eyelids by that flickering light. Don't edit, just notice. When you feel done, write these images and observations down in your journal and offer the water to the earth and say thank you to the flowers and the full moon for helping you. Don't try to interpret it right away. Just maybe try noticing what dreams come to you that night and add them to your journal. Try and creatively interpret these symbols and things that you saw over the next few weeks. One technique is to just think about what those symbols mean to you, what those colors mean to you, and how those meanings might be playing out currently in your life. You can also, of course, look them up online, but I always feel like your own interpretation is better. All right, all, and since spring is about prosperity, let's feed the algorithm gods by liking, commenting, and sharing my videos. And I appreciate so much those of you who always do that and follow me here. And if you want to support me on a deeper level, you can sign up for my Patreon. I have a promo sale I'm running this month in the description. Check that out. You can also sign up for my Witchcraft newsletter that I send out every few weeks. That link will be in the description as well. So thank you all so much. Have a wonderful spring. Stay safe and be well.